Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, kicking off the whole soul's journey. It's that big bang. It's that Olympic torch leading the way. Aries is the beginning. Spiritually, Aries are the babies of the zodiac, like the young soul, the least experienced, so to speak. But that Aries are first, they have the most energy by default. That's the balance. The sun, the core, the soul is exalted in Aries. It loves to be in Aries and is extremely powerful in Aries, causing Aries to be full of life, basically. Then the planet of your drive, your courage, your fuel in Mars rules Aries. Mars is powerful, strong, the warrior planet. So in Aries, you have an energetic warrior. Aries ruling the first house of the self shows up in Aries being confident and knowing themselves and what they can do. Obviously, aspects and things like that may cause initial challenges, but Aries that are fully matured will never doubt their abilities. Aries is the I am sign. I am Aries. I am first. I am strong. I am whatever the fuck I want to be. Associated with the Greek god of war, Aries, and Helios/Apollo, the sun god. Now, Aries is symbolized by the ram, charging head first here and there, acting before thinking. Aries is full of so much energy, they just act it out. A fireball that just shoots off, the quickest to get things started. Aries being the first sign overall obviously means it's the first with everything else too, which includes being the first fire sign before Leo and Sagittarius. Fire signs are energetic and passionate, and also includes Aries being the first in the cardinal modality. Cardinal is initiator energy. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. So all this explains this rocket-like person in Aries. You don't need to be the wisest person to even think what could go wrong with all this energy. This isn't just a kid getting cocos from banging their head into everything. This is someone who has the energy for everything whilst being prepared for nothing. Aries can be so impulsive, so trigger happy. They don't know what the fuck they're getting into, which is obviously a danger for themselves. The only good thing is, Aries are also the quickest to react, so can counteract danger if given the chance. Sagittarius, the oldest fire sign, is more foot in mouth, speak before thinking, which can be destructive, but actually doing before thinking is a whole lot worse than saying the wrong things. It's the naivety of a toddler, unaware of all the dangers in the world, whilst being brave at the same time. Libra is the opposite sign to Aries, so Venus is weak in Aries, meaning with all this impulsiveness, Aries don't experience peace and harmony. It's just pure activity. Saturn, aka Satan, also loves Libra. Is strong and structured in Libra, having great power, so is weak in Aries. So that's no control in Aries. It's chaotic and out of control. It's that kid that does a backflip, lands funny, banging their head, where you jump up worried like, oh my goodness, and the kid pauses for a second and finds it funny. They're the warrior you don't need to worry about. This lack of peace and harmony can cause destruction everywhere an Aries goes, innocently and maliciously. On the dark side, this impulsiveness brings lots of trouble their way and to others. And it's not like Scorpio, the other Mars-ruled sign, where Scorpio grows through these bumps. Aries stay that way forever, even if they get wiser. The impulsiveness is always there. Aries rules the head on the zodiac body, but on the darker side, they use their head without using their head. They use their head to ram into things, to knock it down, rather than use their head logically. They don't use their brain. Rather than use their brain to construct a great argument, they'll rather use their head to headbutt you. This constant daring with Aries either creates Dennis the Menace or creative geniuses when they gain control of Mars and can channel it into something they're passionate about. Otherwise, it's like they're banging their head into wall after wall, offending many and creating enemies in the process, which they won't mind having, cause their battery is forever charged. This is Liu Kang energy, Arya Stark in Game of Thrones energy. Eren Yeager in Attack on Titans. Fire signs are the feelers of the zodiac, same way the water signs are. But there's less understanding and more expression. So with Aries being the baby, so to speak, this is where you get complete uncontrolled emotions and temper tantrums. Tantrums. Repelled emotions. Cancers are the crybabies of the zodiac because they are the first water sign. The first sign where emotions becomes a sole focus and high focus is placed on their own emotions. The first to absorb the ocean, to feel the ocean. And do not mistake that for weakness. That just means emotionally expressive. But whereas Cancers are the crybabies, Aries are the straight up babies who doesn't even know what emotions is. All they know is feel and act. What's that feeling? I don't like that. Throw it away. They technically cry more than any other sign. There's just no tears like a newborn baby. It's just wah wah, which is disguised as being wild and sassy. Nah, it's crying. Zero emotional control, just straight repellent. One of the most Aries-like tantrums I know of in history is Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh is a painter who is famous for cutting his hair off after an argument with a fellow painter. You can't throw a bigger tantrum than that. Aries is represented by the colour red, and spiritually, red is a repellent colour to spirits. You may see someone turn up in all red at a funeral or something, and it's because they are protecting themselves from energies and spirits, even if it offends the family in the traditional sense by not wearing black. All this is Aries, it's all about them, on the light and dark side. But on the darker side, this isn't like someone who has zero empathy. It's just someone who doesn't even consider others' feelings because they don't even know theirs. They don't allow themselves to feel things. But if they do, even for a little while, you're gonna see the biggest tantrums being thrown literally like a baby throwing their toys out of the pram. Now this is cool when they're young. Some may even find it cute. Aries throwing tantrums. But when you see this stuff never ends, a grown Aries can act this same way. It becomes troublesome. When all they know is lash out and get defensive like a Cancerian. Could be you and your Aries friend at a party. Someone accidentally steps on the Aries shoes and the Aries just hits them. Now you're potentially in trouble depending on other factors. Could be you and your Aries partner on a plane. They're irritated because a baby keeps crying a few seats down. Now the Aries is complaining loud that it's pissing them off so that the baby's mum, who will already be stressed, can hear it. The Aries adult is crying as much as the baby. Could be your Aries child. You've got too many bags to carry, so you call them to ask them to pick you up. And they're moaning because they're playing the PlayStation. Cancers can moan the same way, but Cancers actually care more and considers others' feelings more. Aries don't. Once they repel that feeling, they don't care who it hits. They're very good at deflecting energy and taking zero accountability, which helps when they need to be active because there's no unwanted feelings lingering. But when it comes to others' feelings, dark-sided Aries, it's not even that they don't care, it's just that they care about their own well-being in its entirety. All they know is number one. All they know is A in the alphabet. It's the epitome of selfishness in Aries, but on the other hand, they don't know any better. They're the first sign. They haven't experienced the rest yet. It's raw, unfelt emotions. And on a subconscious and sometimes conscious level, it's why Aries may not like Pisces, because Pisces to them is like a grandparent ignoring their cries, leaving them to cry themselves to sleep through understanding what they are crying about is literally nothing. Aries are like cave people, untrained, just raw and hard-headed. Not only do Aries repel feelings and energies they don't like, they can also repel your help. You can say to an Aries, hey, stop running and tie your shoes, you're gonna hurt yourself. They carry on running, not listening, then trip, bang, wah wah. So you're like, see, I told you. Hush, let me tie your shoes. So that you were right, Aries don't like this, because it's like a defeat. So as you're tying their shoes, they can be kicking their feet throwing a strop, literally making it harder for you to help them. This is analogies, by the way. Hopefully none of you are tying any fully abled grown Aries shoes for them. However, I won't be surprised. But that's the childishness that can wind every other sign up, especially the elder signs. So competitive whilst repelling feelings that they can get mad at you for being right about something you told them to help them. Make it make sense. They'll rather get another cocoa on their forehead, throwing themselves on the ground, than be a grown-up about things. The I in team. Relationship-wise, this can be extremely draining for any partner. It doesn't matter the sign. This is a warrior in all forms. It's that ram that just keeps ramming you. Keeps ramming you. Raw and without lube. It's like you've had a long day at work. You're tired. You was up early this morning because Aries wanted 2 rounds. So you went work, drained, you're coming back home, sit down, and Aries starts rubbing on your leg. You're like, what the fuck, I'm tired. Your bits are even still sore. Red raw from earlier, from how Aries was beating your shit up. I like how some of you Americans say that. How are you describing sex as beating up somebody's shit? But yeah, Aries dumb when animalistic caveman or woman on you. You've had a long day at work. And now, they want to go again even if they see you're tired. Now as a Pisces man, I'm a hypocrite for saying that. Cause Lord knows I can be the same way. But the difference with Pisces and Aries is, we take those things into consideration. We'll curb ourselves if we can tell the other person needs rest. So this can be the Aries effect in relationships. If they haven't got other placements that calms them down a bit, it's gonna be long and tiring for the other person. Because they are very passionate, from sex to arguing. Even if they aren't fighting you, what they casually do can be like an attack on you on the negative side, to where you literally feel defeated. That Aries to Libra connection is like that jock with the hot mean girl cheerleader in high school. The Aries isn't academically great, but get them on the field and they boss it. Their hot Libra girlfriend's the leader of their group, who everyone secretly calls fake, and the jock boyfriend treats her like shit. They're both masculine signs, but Aries will typically dominate in the younger years. Even if you gender flip, it'll be the Aries girlfriend being abusive to the Libra boyfriend. Or London-wise, it's that guy that's a set 8, but has street cred and can fight. Argues with teachers, and he also goes out with the pengest girl in school, who seems like she's got more beauty than brains. When they mature now, Libra's literally the reason that Aries goes to prison. I mean, it's just examples, but no matter who Aries is with, it will be chaos. Unless it's those quiet, submissive Aries. The rare ones. Remember, Aries don't bring peace and harmony. They bring battles, competition, fun that can be fun for them and not fun for you. Similar to Gemini. Difference is, Gemini will be joking. Aries can be serious with it. These signs can be similar because they're the first 2 masculine signs, which can be like immature exertion. But Geminis are way more witty, way more tricky. But with Aries on the dark side, we're talking someone who wants to argue with you and is mad you don't want to argue back. Not even nothing to do with the topic at hand. For the fact you don't want to take part in the battle can be a problem. Aries is a dominating sign that's not orderly. This is why Capricorn is the last cardinal sign, because Capricorns know how to dominate but garner respect. Aries just dominates, like the colour red. Any other colours you wear with red, red's gonna dominate it. Even white and black, the most versatile colours, red still doesn't blend properly, it stands out. Like red, Aries dominates. But pink, a light red, or burgundy, a dark red, blends better. AKA, there's a blend that cools it a bit. If it's straight red raw, there's no harmony. From an actual kid that has worn down their parents from all their tantrums and demands, Like Marvin Gaye, talented singer. But look at the state he ended up in and what his dad ended up doing to him. His dad was a Libra, by the way. See how all these things play out? So from that to a grown adult who you don't even want to be around because they're like so one-sided. It's all about them. It's them first. No matter how much they are told, they are shown. No matter how much Aries sees these reactions from others, they're still gonna throw tantrums and shit. Because they're impulsive. They themselves can't even help it. Aries are not even energy vampires. Because they don't get energy from others. But they can just be straight vampires. Throwing tantrums that sucks the life force out of you. On the light side, they can literally be vampire slayers like Buffy. Try suck the life force out of an Aries and see what happens to you. On the light side, this is someone that says sorry a lot after acting. But even that's fucked because no one should be apologizing so much. You want to hear a sad light side of Aries? Research Martha McKay, an Aries, and Travis Lewis. Just read the story. So with Aries, it's like, should I be an alpha or a beta? And Mars won't even allow Aries to bow down. If they do, they are fighting themselves big time. But either way, Aries dominates. It's why Libra is opposite. It's their balance or tolerance, because Aries will either find someone in Libra who has no self-worth and just sees the Aries as their mirror, so doesn't even deeple their childish ways, or they meet a Libra who can be such a parent-like figure with that Saturn exaltation, who patterns them up, gets that Mars under control, where that link-up works how it works in the sign Capricorn itself, that has Saturn and Mars working together efficiently. Other than that, it's the selfishness and arrogance of a toy-throwing baby, screaming their head off, wearing the parent or partner down. Selfish. Arrogant. For the most part, Aries are innocent. They're unaware of how what they do affects others. But even if they were, on the darker side, they'll still do it. The ego is hungry in Aries. It's like an empty ego ready to be filled. So for it to be filled, they have to put everything they want or need first. All the cardinals are selfish in one way or another. Mutable is when it becomes more about others, but can still be selfish too. So as Aries are selfishly firing everywhere, friendly fire will always happen. Always happen. Aries selfishness is the rawest. It's not like Capricorn where it's work and career first. It's me first with Aries. Some dark-sided Aries examples is Joseph Fritzl, who committed one of the most selfish acts you can imagine. Fritzl had a daughter who supposedly went missing, but where she really was for years was under his house, trapped in some makeshift flat. So Fritzl literally built a family with his daughter underground. Yeah, you know what that means. What he was doing to his own daughter, while still having his family life upstairs with a missing daughter, a mourning wife. Another example is Eren Yeager. Now hear me out. Yes, it's an anime character and whatever, but Eren is an Aries in the show, and the creator of the show is a Virgo, and they got his character spot on, typical Virgo. I don't even want to ruin it for others. I'm not even an anime guy beyond Dragon Ball Z. But once I started watching that, I had to finish it. So yeah, that's just another example. Eren motherfucking Yeager. In general, arrogance is strong in Aries, but when you look at it from the spiritual journey the soul goes through the Zodiac, to where it's a realization everyone is actually one, it makes sense why the sign who is number one thinks they are the one and only, when it's the furthest from the truth, like the head is the furthest from the feet. Aries are not influenced by anybody. It's literally them with all this energy and doing as they please. No thinking, no feeling, just doing. Passionate. Aggressive. One misconception about Aries is that all Aries are aggressive. The wording needs to be changed around to understand what goes on with Aries. Aries are naturally passionate about what they do. No matter what it is, they channel their passion into it, the power of the sun and Mars into it. So that is this unknowing kid who rebels feelings and everything else external. They will be seen as aggressive when really they're just passionate about rebelling and doing their own thing. Now, can Aries be aggressive? Oh, you bet your backside they can. Aries on the dark side can be the most aggressive. Aries is like the raw form of human we are talking. That animalistic soul who doesn't know about law and order. So when Aries gets passionate about anything dark, like being in conflict with someone, you're gonna see the aggression, and this can go as far as cannibalism and shit like that. Cause Aries are raw. They'll handle shit raw. They'll eat shit raw. Hypothetically speaking, on the light side, Aries' passionate ways, when the energy is channeled correctly, produces very talented people in all fields, from sports to art. Like Ronaldinho, my idol growing up. Anyone into football knows this guy was the most magical player. He was like extremely skillful and very passionate at the same time. I've come to learn he has a Pisces Mercury. I knew there was some Pisces in there somewhere. There's Eddie Murphy, one of the funniest comedians ever. Doesn't even matter if that's subjective. Eddie Murphy's funny, but you can see the passion in what he does. The creator of Dragon Ball is an Aries. Akira Toriyama. You don't even need to question the passion put into that masterpiece. The whole theme of the show is about aggressive characters. You wanna turn Super Saiyan? You gotta scream your head off. For the Yardheads, Caperton and Sizzler are true Aries. They got that raw spiritual sound. So these are like good examples of when that energy is channeled correctly. But when it's on the dark side, you truly do get someone so inhumane. Literally like a cave person looking for food, whether that be another person or animal. But the passion will be there. They will be passionate about being dark. There's Donald Harvey, who was basically another Charles Cullen, working in a hospital, eliminating patients, up to 87 people. There's Alexander Pichushkin, the chessboard killer, who took out at least 49 people. His aim was to take out 64 people. The number of squares on a chessboard. This is probably the most Aries thing you'll hear, other than Van Gogh. But apparently, Alexander was in competition with another serial killer, a Libra, who had a tally of 52. There's Clyde Barrow, one half of the infamous bank robbing duo, Bonnie and Clyde, with Bonnie being a Libra, no surprise there. There's Leonarda Cianjuli, known as the soap maker. She eliminated 3 women and turned them into soap. Of all these videos I've done on Pisces and all the other signs, not one of them was turning people into bloody soap. This is Aries when they're on that timing. It's like raw, sadistic and creative. Like Randy Orton. I hear voices. Like Leopold II. What that man done to black people is inhumane. No words for it. Then there's drug lords like El Chapo, responsible for the deaths of over 34,000 people, and was considered to be the most powerful drug trafficker in the world until he was extradited to the United States and sentenced to life in prison. It's extremes like this with Aries on the dark side cause it's pure passion. It's that fire, the spirit. And last example is Guy Fawkes. Long story short, Guy Fawkes was a military Catholic who attempted to blow up Parliament and eliminate the then King of England, King James I. Parliament, the House of Parliament, is where they make laws and have debates and stuff like that for those not from London. It's where Big Ben is. It's like the Libra House, basically. And Aries was trying to blow it up. Guy Fawkes was found in the cellar of Parliament guarding the gunpowder on November 4th, 1605. So King James declared November 5th as a celebration day with bonfires and fireworks to celebrate the failed attempt. Guy Fawkes Night, or Bonfire Night, is a UK tradition for family fun, watching the firework displays, holding sparklers, having gunfights, running people down, shooting wrong video. Scorpios obviously claim that night as it's in their season like Halloween, but that's an Aries celebration, literally lighting up the dark. It's normally thought that Guy Fawkes was burned at the stake. That would have been ironic, an Aries burning, but he was instead hung and dissected. Nothing too serious, just good old British torture. Just imagine Guy Fawkes sneaking around to the Pink Panther theme. made by Aries Henry Mancini, to end up caught. King James I was also a Gemini. You just know the delight he had finding an Aries fucking around, pre-cum and everything. But to even attempt something so brazen and to get caught and celebrated by burning fire, by bunning fire like Caperton, shows you the dark and reckless side of Aries. Planning and plotting is not Aries' thing. That's too much brain work. It can be at a matured level, but it's typically too much brain work. The good thing for Aries and the bad thing for others is you cannot disrespect no Aries. You can't slick talk no Aries. You can't try no funny games with Aries, because even if they're the babies, they aren't playing games with people when angry. So they'll be the first to show you that fire. If there's like a standoff with groups or gangs, Aries will be the first one to either hit or even just from that first push where it kicks off a madness. Aries will be responsible for that. Thump your chin, bun your skin. The dark side of this is Aries may react too quick and not even allow another to apologize. Before you get to say I'm so, a fist is already flying towards your face. Jealous. Unaware. With Aries having such a hungry ego, this can breed jealousy, because even though Aries are the first sign, they're obviously not the only sign here. So anything Aries sees that another has, anything Aries sees that another can do, Aries can have like a how mindset. How can you do that and I can't when I'm first? While Pisces is aware of all the 12 signs, Aries is just aware of themselves. But Aries are spiritually connected like Pisces. They're just unaware until they aren't. People say Pisces goes to Aries, but I don't believe it goes like that. Between Pisces and Aries is the spiritual world. It's where the creator is. It's that in between death and beginnings. Every sign comes from previous signs, except Aries. Aries comes from the spiritual world, not Pisces itself. Pisces goes back to the spiritual world after conquering all signs. There's no Pisces for Aries to come from. Pisces transcends. It's the spirit where Aries comes from. Aries is the spirit. Leo is the conscious soul. Pisces is the subconscious soul, the most in touch. So that Aries are the baby soul, they are also connected to the spiritual world as Pisces, the grandparent. They're just not aware, but they can still act out the spiritual world. Remember, the sun is most lively here. That's the soul, the core. So an Aries can be great at something and think they're great because it's them. They have the power. They don't realize that power came from a source. It's the reverse to Pisces awareness, which can also lead to no appreciation or gratitude, just self-importance. It's why Aries thinks they're the originators when in truth, nothing is new. It's all been done before. This is just a new cycle. But in the psyche, it's impossible for anything to be new, because everything is already there. That's what Aquarius learns, and what Pisces knows. So when Aries sees others being the so-called originators of things, it bugs Aries in their soul. But what's really happening is showing Aries something that has come from where they are freshly from. Aries can confuse that feeling and be jealous towards others. The ego's fragile as hell. So the Aries that matures somewhat learns this. It's like a toddler remembering how life was in the womb, before they got here. That's the spiritual potential of Aries, where Aries can literally look into flames and see the spiritual world the same way Pisces does when they close their eyes. But the ego can literally make them not see the light of that. The sun can even be too bright for them. When we talk Aries like Harry Houdini, probably the most known magician, expert escape artist. I mean, he's on the cusp of Aries and Pisces, so to speak, but from an Arian perspective. That's a toddler that remembers and can channel the energy of where they are coming from. Leonardo da Vinci, the famous painter and scientist from studying the human anatomy to designing war machines. That was an Aries in touch with the spiritual world. The Undertaker, well-known wrestler for his death gimmick. He comes out to a theme song that was originally made by Pisces Frederick Chopin, the actual sign of death. The song's called Funeral March. Charlie Chaplin, the Aries actor who got famous for being mute in his films. When who is the most silent sign of the zodiac at the end? The true mute sign. It's the fish. Linda Goodman, an Aries astrologer, is the reason me and you are even exploring a video like this, as she made sun signs popular in America and around the world in the 60s. This shit goes back to Babylonian times, but she originated it, shone spiritual light on it for others to see, especially in the Western world. And here we are. Aries that are connected literally do not act like typical Aries. They are very similar to Pisces, very chill and spiritual, but with a spark. And Pisces that tap in are very similar to Aries in terms of passion. They mix the spiritual with passion. This is the sun when it's matured in these signs. And that's all from what is in between those two signs, the home of the soul. Fire is spirit, water is spiritual. They don't cancel each other out in the spiritual world, they work together. What goes on from 12 to 1 is different to the rest of the zodiac. So these two signs can draw the most inspiration and energy from the source. Reckless. Leader. Stemming on from the jealousy Aries can have, the fire signs will be the main signs Aries can have problems with. Aries wants to be the leader, they're first. They're the follow me sign. Leo is where the sun is at home. Leo is the main source of light, zodiac sign wise. So Leos will naturally have followers, without having to tell anyone follow me. Aries will be triggered by this. Sagittarius is where Jupiter, the largest planet of all, rules, giving Sag a larger than life personality when the sun soul gets there. So Sag will easily have followers for just being them, for just doing their own thing. Sag will get the most respect exhibiting the totality of the fire signs. Again, Aries will be triggered by this. It's when the fireball sees the house on fire and the wildfire in the forest. They see others who can naturally generate more firepower than them because they have more of an understanding of the same energy. So this is where Aries, already being the most dominant, can be the most demanding, where others can follow out of fear. Not from adoration or respect. Aries can have followers out of straight fear of them throwing a tantrum. We're talking those leaders, managers, that get up in your face shouting so much that they're spitting and shit. You're even scared to wipe the spit off. You firm it until they finish screaming. Now again, Aries is the ram, charging around. They're also linked with the god of war, so Aries would always love to have an army ready to go into battle with them, if they're a bit more aware. So this is where it gets dark for the followers of Aries, because it can be like the blind leading the blind. This is not Leo, the king, whose ego is more secure and refined when mature. Aries will be on some fuck around stuff, making others find out with them. So you can follow Aries and their ego into so much shit. Shit that Aries is comfortable with that you may not be. This isn't even if you have the heart or not, like Leo. This is just if you're on some reckless headless shit. If an Aries has an idea, you can't be coming with no Virgo-like plan. Aries are just gonna wanna go there and fuck shit up with no plan. Sagittarius on the darker, immature side can have this same way about them. But Sag has way more luck on their side. They can get away with dumb shit sometimes. Aries don't have that luck. They just have this feeling of they are indestructible and can do what they want. To where the only people following Aries will be numbskulls, to put it frank. People who have nothing to lose. When you follow Aries long enough, you'll realize through the bad luck you experience, and this is how Aries can end up as actual loners. Not by choice or healing like Pisces, or by force like Aquarius from detaching from the world, or by a goal like Capricorn, or a solo adventure like Sagittarius, or for recovery like Scorpio. No, Aries can end up loners from friendly fire and fucking up their followers' lives, from not thinking before they lead. Aries who have no control of their energy is the easiest people to set up traps for, cause they always take the bait. So if you start something with an Aries with the plot of leading them to an empty warehouse, Aries will come there with their followers ready to fire, then can realize it's a trap when it's too late, even when one of the followers could have been trying to warn everyone beforehand. Remember, Aries are raw. It's not mind games and shit like that with Aries. It's not even lies with Aries. I mean, it can be if their ego is threatened, but normally it's straight up everything in your face. Just like a child. Children tell you it's straight. Not blunt like big kid Sag, but straight like Aries. It's innocence mixed in with naivety. And this is also what makes Aries easy targets. Like a boxer in a ring just focusing on their own attack. Not even their defense, just their own attack. And they haven't even done their research on their opponent. They don't know their fighting style, their record. Aries is just focusing on what they can do. And Aries can be so powerful that they can succeed this way. But it will never last, cause there's always going to be that one who has done their research on them, as well as worked on themselves, and that's the difference with how Mars acts in Scorpio and Capricorn compared to Aries. Mars is no head in Aries, drive to act. Mars is drive to dig in Scorpio, and drive to go to the end in Capricorn. Aries is just drive to attack or start. People and some astrologers conflate Mars to your actions when the sun is your actions. Mars is the throttle, the gas pedal. If your anger or whatever emotion is top speed, Mars is how quickly you reach that top speed. All these planets work for the sun in the grand scheme. The sun's the source. So in Aries, it's 0 to 100 real quick. Literally, that's what Mars does. It connects to the sun so quickly that it's straight action. Like a red Ferrari. It's acceleration. No focus on the finish line or how long the race is, or the other cars and races. The leader of all, the top war general, is Capricorn, the final cardinal sign, who doesn't just have followers, they command it all. So that's the difference with the followers of Aries. It's like following a soldier than following orders from the military commander. Following the soldier will likely get you shot. They aren't seeing the playing field from above like Capricorn. And if we get technical about it, the ram is a sheep that's supposed to learn from others but blocks them out and tries leading its own way and ends up walking into a pack of wolves. Aries don't have the foresight like Sagittarius. They just head forward and deal with fights along the way. So many soldiers will be lost, where Aries ends up alone, having no pity for those who weren't as strong as them to survive, not realizing it's them why the followers are dead in the first place. Aries are powerful, yes, but there's more power in numbers, and that's where the elder signs, especially Jupiterian signs, show this. Bravery in ignorance and bravery in awareness are two completely different things. On the light side, or the more controlled side, it looks like Butch Cassidy and the Wild Bunch, the most successful train robbing gang in history, or Mehmed the Conqueror, or Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was the mastermind of 9/11. Aries has the potential to be the most inspiring sign. It's not even debatable. They're the sign of self. So if they rise above the ego, they can easily inspire others. But on the darker side and more typical side, this is high risks with potentially no rewards. This is leadership clouded by ego if they don't cooperate with other like-minded people, no matter what it is. Reason why something like 9/11 was possible, cause Aries Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was working with Pisces bin Laden. They were close. When it's like solely Aries leading or trying to claim they're the only one responsible for things, it rubs others the wrong way. This is where other leaders and members end up having no trust in Aries, which opens them up to being plotted against. This is who can face judgment from the masses through Libra, where Saturn restricts Mars in its entirety, where the lesser malefic meets the greater malefic. Argumentative, competitive. Another obvious dark side to Aries is they love to argue. Whether they start it or you start it, Aries is ready to argue at all times. And Aries can be minding their business, working out or something, and you can be bored, so you want some drama. All you have to do is pick up the phone, call the Aries with some bullshit, and they will be ready to start shouting. Just imagine like a bored Libra who needs some drama, some excitement in their life. All they have to do is start some made up shit with an Aries, and they'll get all the drama they need. This is also a dark side for Aries themselves, cause others can disturb their peace if they have any, or can throw them off their track. Aries can easily be drawn out. Love can cool an Aries, but anything else, Aries will be ready to clap back, always ready to pull out their sword. Aries are not just hot-headed, they're hard-headed. So even when arguments are necessary to come to an understanding in the end, Aries won't even be trying to see your point, or where they went wrong, or even see another's just thrown them off track. All they'll see is this current enemy in their face that they must defeat, and can love it. All they'll see is red. It's not always physical with Aries, it can be very verbal, that can sway into physical very quickly. Cause there's only so much shouting you can do before wanting to start getting hands on. Aries fight and argue, then move on fast. There doesn't even need to be sort of apologizing and debriefing. After the argument, if you're willing to move on from it, then Aries can be cool with that, as long as they won the argument. This is why I don't even think Aries are good for relationships in general, cause they can view it as a competition. Who makes the more money? Who's the prize? Who needs who more? Who did what first? Even when Aries are typically straight up, you see if their ego's on the line or others can get shine, they can make up lies solely from their ego. Again, this is where they can be similar to Gemini, but for different reasons. Like Aries isn't a team player. They're that player on the team who sees themselves as the key player. And if they're not the actual key player, the key player on their own team will be seen as an enemy. So whereas Libra is about agreements and seeing both sides and coming to a mutual understanding, Aries is the complete opposite to that. Again with relationships, things like bachelor life suits Aries, where they're in control and has more than one partner, on a Hugh Hefner wave. I get to have all the partners I want, while you lot have me. Or that guy in Tiger King, Doc Antler, call him Zoo Hefner. When it's one-on-one partnerships, there's no balance with Aries, like a 5-year-old dating a 5-year-old. They ain't got the time, the patience or maturity for no full-blown relationship. And both the men and women can get violent in relationships. They can get real handsy, which just opens up another unnecessary window in something important like literally sharing your life with someone. Aries don't have peace and harmony or restrictions. It's all about them. But with a more witty, brain-working person, the same way you can start an argument with Aries, you can throw them off track for your own benefit, relationship-wise. But then again, it won't be true love, cause you'll be manipulating and game playing. The thing with Aries is, you will know they're ready to start running their mouth or getting violent, cause you can see it in their eyes. Aries have that spark in their eyes. It's not fire like Leo or like dark fire Sag has. It's like a spark. Even when innocent or evil, there's that spark, that hint, like a fire can start. This can be seen from the youngest of ages. Aries will be the most energetic kids by default. The kid can be arguing with their siblings, may even argue with the parents. It reminds me of that Chicago rapper Lil Jojo. I remember seeing videos of him shouting at Lil Reese, a Capricorn, and he had that BDK song that started a madness. Again, Aries are similar to Gemini in terms of the troublemaking ability, just not as smart as Gemini. But Aries are in a league of their own in terms of disruption, and that forever stays, which again is good for Aries when they need to back or defend themselves, but can be hair-pulling for others when you want to come to an understanding and hope they can see your side. Brazen, immature. With everything that's been said of Aries' immature and brazen nature, this actually sets up Aries to face karma quite a lot. They'll keep fucking around and finding out, but not learning each time they find out, which doesn't stop them fucking around again. So Aries can be trapped in that loop of what goes around comes around. Just a ram's head constantly going around that karmic loop like a race car on a racetrack. With all this power and energy Aries has, they don't even have the time to deep what karma is. When time and karma is ruled by the planet Saturn. Again, Saturn loves to be in Libra. It's strong as hell in Libra, so weak as hell in Aries. Libra, Capricorn and Aquarius learns the most through restrictions and structure. So Aquarius is the initial rebel with the knowledge of karma, being ruled by it. Aries is the rebel who has no idea what karma is, but is still rebellious. So on the negative side, this is someone who gets a cocoa. The cocoa heals, then they go and get another cocoa, aka head bump or goose egg. Whatever you call it where you're from. That bump after hitting your head, which children usually get. So Aries gets set up for karma, and depending on what Aries was doing before they got the bump, others can be happy to see when karma catches Aries. Not in a cruel way, but like watching your kid learn a valuable lesson in hope it betters them. On a those who don't listen will feel thing. But on the dark side, it'll be like, good. Good that happened to you. You should have listened or slowed your roll. Suge Knight's an example of this. CEO of Death Row Records. The bully of the rap industry. I can guarantee you, many people was happy when he got locked away. Not for no wise lesson. Nah, just for him getting locked up, cause fuck him. Aries can have people wishing karma on them, whilst they are on a course to face karma anyway, so the effects can be extreme. The Aries that sits down and starts thinking after getting that head bump is where Taurus comes in. That's when they're ready for that lesson. Until then, expect repetitive cycles with Aries. This whole Zodiac wheel thing, life itself is one big repetitive cycle. Aries are about cycles as much as Pisces is. But Aries has got much to learn whilst not learning their lesson. Just brazen enough to attempt that backflip again. Even with that cast on their forearm, or that tape around their ankle, Aries will fuck around and find out them fuck around again. And this includes others' boundaries. Aries will be crossing boundaries unaware and aware. There's no code, just their code. It's like two men pissing at a urinal. The bro code is, you leave the urinal between, empty. That's the universal bro code no matter what country you go to. And Aries can come in that bathroom, see that middle urinal empty, even see people waiting, and not even clock the code. Then come in between the two men, pulling their trousers way down to their ankles whilst lifting their top up, batty fully exposed to the whole restroom, and start pissing and splashing the two guys next to them. It's like a female in her bathroom doing her makeup. Then her Aries sister or partner comes in the bathroom and just starts shitting. No pre-warning like, hey, I want to use the bathroom. Nah, you just see them in the mirror, come in without knocking, sit on the toilet like you're not even there and start plopping. Now you can't even open your mouth as you're doing your eyeliner or even breathe through your nose because all the fumes will go down your throat. Zero consideration, doing what they want and meeting karma without realizing it. Willing to pull their sword out if you pick them up on anything. But you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Immature Aries are like kids who needs teaching, but don't want to learn. It's like bringing a thirsty horse to water, and they run away because they want to drink water they find themselves. All I want for Christmas is you. What about what they want, Mariah? Huh? What about what they want? Every year, all I want for Christmas. What does the other person want, Mariah? You may think, who is this Pisces talking about my sign? Hey, it's just some things I've noticed. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Otherwise, shut your ass up, put your seatbelts back on, and make sure that I was clear. We'll be arriving at our destination shortly.